My name is Richard Axe. I'm a bookseller, or sort of a bookseller collector, and I own this building, which is the Old Youth Hostel in Aysgarth. And over the 19 years that I've been here, it has become completely full of books, of generally not ordinary second-hand books, but a lot of antiquarian and more unusual books. And when I bought the property, my plan was to live in this big house, but it's become so full of books that I actually live in what used to be the manager's house when it was a youth hostel. There are some modern books, but not sort of run-of-the-mill modern novels. But the majority of the books are much older, and I would say a quarter of them at least are at least 150 years old. In total, it would be about 125,000 books. These books have been bought all over the place, including New Zealand, the Philippines, all over Europe and America, over my career as a bookseller, which started in 1981 in London. It's been a lifelong job stroke hobby. But now I'm not only 73, but I'm in somewhat failing health. It will be with regret, but I can no longer manage such a huge building with forever climbing up and down stairs. So regrettably, I'm hoping to pass it on to somebody else. The books are arranged in subject. Generally speaking, there's a room for each subject. There are more than 30 rooms. There's a whole room of good Yorkshire books. There's a room for architecture. There's a room for natural history. There's a room for travel books. There are several rooms of antiquarian books, for English literature. So everything is ordered to, it's not ordered precisely, but it is ordered by subject. One of the interesting things about bookselling is that nowadays ephemeral items, autographs, photograph albums have become very popular. And one of the effects of the internet is that things that are one-off, unique items like letters have become more sought after. If you meet 5 booksellers, you'll get 5 different stories about how they operate. As you can see, I've become a stock-holding bookseller. This is private premises, it's not retail, and most of the books buy and never really make any attempt to sell. I collect them. But I do have a few trade customers who will visit, and there are areas which I do sell books in. The books range in dates from the 16th century right up to the 21st century, although there aren't many 21st century books. But the core collection would probably be 19th century, of which there are, I would guess, out of the 125,000 books, probably 20,000 of them would be 19th century or earlier. We're now on the 3rd floor up, which is, this is the Yorkshire room. There's probably about 5,000 Yorkshire books relating to all aspects of Yorkshire history, natural history, and some Yorkshire literature. In addition to this, on the ground floor, there's a huge number of further Yorkshire books which are less specialised. These tend to be specialised. I mean, this one that I have in front of me now is actually a history of Leeds, published in, I tell you, bear with me, 1816, and as you can see, it's a very weighty volume. and this is only volume 1. Volume 2 is still on the shelf. Most of these books would be, probably more than half of them would be over 100 years old. And there are histories of all sorts of small places: Ripon and Fountains Abbey, Knaresborough, Harrogate, also quite small villages. And here's a, I think this is an 18th century book, published in York in 1717, and it's about Yorkshire inscriptions, and also it includes details of some of the noble houses of around York.